Hi everybody, my name is Spammals. Welcome to a different type of video. While I always strive to bring you the latest and greatest of Titanic games, it's not always possible, but today I thought I'd do something a little different and open up and share with you some of my own private Titanic White Star Line collection. So, without any more stalling, let's begin! Right, so this idea came about a week ago because I did an impromptu live stream and somebody asked me, Spammals, what is it with you and Titanic? Well, the real answer is it's more than Titanic. I guess we need to start at the beginning to understand this story. I think it was around 2010 I started to collect my own collection, and we're going to go through this box. I've got a secondary camera just here so you can kind of get a better view inside the box. Each box is for its own ship. This one's falling apart a little bit. I need to replace it. But anyway, this is my Olympic, Titanic and Britannic box. It's just, there's no real order to what's in here. It could use some ordering perhaps. Now I have been scanning all this. I've got my own high-res scans and then maybe dropping them into the frame every now and then where applicable. But let's just go through this and I'll try to recount my story as I go along. So that's kind of what this episode's going to be about. So this story begins back in 2010, kind of. I mean, I'd always had a passion for Titanic, for shipping, for the White Star Line, and I was anxious to get this one specific piece. I wanted to own a piece of the history. I kept seeing this item come up for auction and I would never win on it until I kind of saved up some cash and I was like, I'm going all in, give it to me. And it was this item right here. I haven't seen this in about a year because I got it scanned and it went into storage, and I did last time was about a year ago, so check this out. There you go. I'm gonna hold it up to this other camera to my side here. This was just such an iconic item for me to want to get because it's full of photographs and it has some superb photographs inside it. But also, I mean, this is produced to sell cabins on the ship. This is what you'd go into your travel agents, you pick up one of these and it would whet your appetite, make you want to book a passage on board the Olympic. So not only does it have the photographs, it's got descriptions written by White Star, it's got an introduction. It's just, it takes you back in time to read, to look at such an old document. It's magical, and it's just something, maybe because we live in such a digital world, just something seems to have been lost, but it's the real deal with this. Off the top of my head, there's a couple of key photographs from inside of it. One of them is showing Olympic being docked in New York, and it just reminds me of like this mother pig, because it's got like 8 tugs along the side of her hull, just pushing her in, trying to turn her around, because she had to do like a full 90 degrees right-hand turn to get into the piers. And that's just such a great photo, because it's really characterful. And the other great photo, I think it's from the top of the fourth funnel. And you look ahead and you just see New York City in the background. And you can see all the way down, you can see the third funnel straight in front of you. And you see some people on the deck, and it's an impressive, bombastic photo. It's awesome. To my right, off camera, is my most prized possession, and it is a first-class deck plan from Olympic. It's dated 1913, reprinted 1920, so it is a pre-war map, but printed after the war. Now, there's quite a lot of items in here. Some are period, some are more modern, so we're not going to go through every single item because it may take a while, but we're going to have a good old look around all the same. This is pretty sweet. It's a Nearer My God to Thee postcard. It's black banded, post-syncing, obviously. Yeah, it just has the sheet music and some of the lyrics for Near My God to Thee. Hymn played by bandsmen of the SS Titanic as she sank to her doom, 15th of April 1912. So it's just a nice little piece to have. It's got a picture of her on top. Anyway, moving on. I remember getting this. Every year, there's a place called the Isle of Wight. It's just out of Southampton. Now, Titanic and Olympic, they would have passed it on their way out. Now, every year, they hold a yacht race. They got to go around the whole island. But anyway, it's a nice picture. Someone's attending this. And in the background, you can see Olympic steaming past. I'm going to throw up a scan of that right here, just there, so you can see it way clearer. I love a photo like this because it's great seeing a picture of Olympic or of Titanic, but with this, it puts it into the world it existed within. And I think that's quite important. So we see everyday people here going about their lives. This photo is more about kind of the yachts in front rather than her in the background. So I just love that this is a snapshot of her life. What else do we have here? Okay, we have an art card of the RMS Carpathia for the Cunard line. If I hold that to the camera, sorry for the reflection, it's just because of the sleeves, they're protected within. But again, boop, there's a good old scan of it there. Now, I wanted something that represented Carpathia because it's a very important part of the story, as you very well must agree. On the back here, it just has Carpathia BT 1902, that, and just some scribbles. Boop, boop, boop. Now, what else do we have? Ah! Now, this is an important card because it's often linked to Titanic, but erroneously. If I hold this up to the camera, and we will also get a scan just after. I want to kind of show you that I have the real thing. I'm not just like Googling images and like throwing them on the screen saying this is mine. So what we have here is Olympic docked in Southampton. Boop, there's a big picture there. In front of the photo, you'll see lifeboats. And many people say, oh, this is Olympic back in Southampton. And they are Titanic's lifeboats from after the sinking. And this is wrong. That we don't know whose lifeboats there are, but we know that they're not Titanic's because after the sinking, they were taken to Titanic's intended berth. After their nameplates were removed because they started to be looted, they were stored in the shed's the pier had locker space above it for long-term storage. The boats went into there and were never seen again. So where they are today, who knows? But they are not there. That's not them. But it's just a lovely view because it's more or less kind of what you would expect to see when looking at Titanic docked there. So that's just a lovely thing. Let's get a bit of variety here. So, okay, these are abstract of log card. Now, these you would get from on board the ship. These have come from on board Olympic. Now, what these are, it's kind of like a postcard in a way, but not because you don't post it. On the front, you have a lovely picture, but on the back, this is why it's called an abstract of log card, because it is an abstract of the ship's log. Is this actually a really bad example to show? Yeah, it fucking is. I'll bring up the big camera. Boosh! There you are, it's on the big screen. So these are abstracts of log cards. At the end of the voyage, well, you can go to the purser's office and you can, well, I think they'd either just be out for you to take or you can request one. Not 100% on that, how you would actually obtain one. But anyway, this has every day of your voyage, how far you got, how many miles you traveled that day, how fast you was going, anything happened of noteworthiness, like passenger overboard. That has happened. I've got one in here somewhere. Not on Olympic, on another ship. More on that later. Anyway, abstract of log cards. It's been all kind of Olympic so far, so how about a bit of Titanic? Here we go, holding up to the camera here just as evidence. There you go, and our big camera. Boosh! So this is Titanic, still in Belfast. She was preparing to go out for her sea trials, but they got cancelled because of high wind. And you can even see that in this card. If you look at the top of the funnels, you can see the steam, the smoke coming out, and it's really blowing away fast in the wind, because these photos that weren't taken like that, it kind of has a longer exposure time. Now, she's complete. Just needs a sea trials, then she's out of here to go to Southampton. I hope you're enjoying this. Up next, we have ourselves an authentic, original RMS Olympic passengers list. I forget the date of this one because I can't open it. I want to say it's from the 20s. I can't remember to be sure, but boosh! There's a big blow up of it there. Yes, this is a passenger list. Now, these are also very characterful and very nice because at the beginning, obviously, it has like some advertisements for the shipping line. It has like a list of the ships in the fleet. And you got all the officers on board, who the captain is, who the doctor is, who the first officer, second officer, blah, 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 blah. And then you got all of the passengers on board. Now, this is something you don't get anymore. It's like, I guess it's like a security breach to have a list of who's on board the ship with you. I don't know. But yeah, back then you can get a list of every single person on board. And at the back of it, there's like a section for notes. There's a bit of advertising. And then on the back of it, this one hasn't been filled in. But if I hold it up to this camera, on the back of it, you get a map showing Europe, England, and United States. And then as you go across your voyage, some people, you can find out where you are each day of the voyage, and you can follow your progress on your very own map. You can dot it in, and there you go. You have your own abstract of log in a way. It's cool. It's neat. I love it to pieces. Right, we're going to do a very quick story time featuring Olympic. So it's October 20th, and the hull of the Olympic is launched from the Owl Gantry in Belfast, Ireland. She's painted in white so that she appears more prominent in photographs. If she was just black, you wouldn't really get those finer details, wouldn't really pop in those pictures, and they really wanted to flag this to the whole world to show them White Star's biggest and bestest new ship. Now, fast forward nearly a year later, and Olympic has a collision with the HMS Hawk. She really buffs in her bow. Here's a picture. Boosh! So the Olympic was held at blame for this, basically, under the command of Captain Smith, who went on to captain the Titanic. But basically they said that the mighty swell from her propellers drew in the HMS Hawk, and she went into the starboard side of Olympic, opened up a big hole. White Star were the kings of spin. Oh shit, our lovely flagship has just had a big collision, taken on water, massive damage. Not a problem! This is a perfect example of how safe this ship is. Her watertight doors, they kicked into action, they worked, they contained the flooding, not a single life was lost, I believe, and yeah, they got a hole in their ship, didn't sink. Perfect PR stunt. Not a PR stunt, but you know what I mean. And the Hawk, yeah, she clearly came off worse. Her bow completely just squeezed in. Squishy! Boosh. So how about writing paper from onboard Olympic? This was written on board and posted on board RMS Olympic. I find that just amazing. Boosh! September 23rd, 1923. Now this was also sent with this. There you go. You're in the first class lounge. Boosh! Boosh! There you go, big picture. I forget the story on this. I got a transcript here. How's that for convenient? I'll just read a small piece of it. Ah, here we go. So this was kind of like a well-to-do couple on board. Father goes up to the gym every morning at 7 and then has a swim. In the afternoon he plays squash, so he gets a lot of exercise. We walk up and down the deck too. At meals we sit at the captain's table. I am next to him. He is quite a good old boy with a very red face and a twinkle in his eye. So there you go. A very well-to-do couple if they were eating at the captain's table. So there you go. A real piece of Olympic history right there. How cool is that? Let's take a quick break from the box. Let's show you some physical pieces from the ship. Now look at this. Can you tell what it is yet? There you go. It's a couple of different angles there. This is a piece of Olympic's grand staircase. It's not being touched. It's still in her 1930s avocado green paint. So yes, she started life obviously for lovely, lovely natural colours, but then in the 1930s they thought this ship is aging, we need to modernise the crap out of this. Green! The current colour of the month is green. Funny enough, I think it looks horrible, but at the time it was described as divine and beautiful and just perfect. Anyway, what else do we have? How perfectly timed. So look at this picture here. Wait, to this camera. Then back to this camera. This is the first class smoking room. Very, very nice, opulent place on board. No women allowed, I trust you understand. This room, I have a piece of this room. If you're a fan of the channel and you've seen all my Titanic videos, you've already seen the bit coming up. If I leave Boosh now on the screen there, if you look at the very top, if I zoom it in, Boosh! If you look up at the very top, you got this on the ceiling, this kind of detailing, the circles and the stars. Well, I have not one, not two, but 3 pieces of that. It's like Lego. Hang on. It got cut into 3 sections because it's just massive. Hang on, this is ridiculous. Wait. So there you go. That's a piece of the ceiling moulding. If I hold it that way, you can see what shape it actually was. That's how it was. How are we doing on time? Right, last but not least, the last thing I want to show you guys, something I truly love. I really geek out over this. I just haven't got the space to display it because they're so large. But if I ever get to move out of this freaking bedroom, I really, in the future, hope to display these. But I have this ginormous... Can you see me still? Hi. This is an A1 folio folder. Art students use this, I believe. It's the biggest thing I could get to protect these. Let's give this a go, a bit like this. Now, again, I haven't seen these in probably a year, maybe longer, because it's just not something you handle on a daily basis. Where to start? I don't know what order these are even in here. This one's on top. We're going for this one. Side cameras, getting some side boob action. Can you tell what it is yet? What we have here, I can't tell how well you can see, but what we have here is authentic deck plans from White Star Line ships. I believe, I can't see what you're seeing, but I think it's the Doric. Hang on, let's bring this flat so I can have a go-to. So yes, this is the Doric. She was a very sweet ship. She was a cruise ship for the White Star Line. She was more commonly known as Cupid's ship. And I think that was either because many people got married on board, or they proposed on board, or they were newlyweds. One of the 3. I can never remember which. I'm really out of touch on my history. But she was a very sweet and cute ship. Sadly, she had a bad accident at a really bad time. She got holed on her starboard side by a French ship called the Formingly. I think they collided during fog. But either way, it really damaged her. She didn't sink, she stayed afloat, that's an important thing. But this was, I think, in 1934, and this is right around the time White Star and Cunard are merging together. And they're drawing up the list of ships they no longer require, and oh fuck, we've got one with a big ass hole in it. Well, she is out of here. Anyway, poor thing. I hope you're laughing at me and my freaking small situations. Right. This feels like an appropriate item to end this video on, because this is a deck plan. I don't know if you can read that if I put it onto this camera. This is a deck plan from White Star Cruises Britannic. Now, this is not the hospital ship Britannic. This is not the original Britannic. This is the third and final Britannic and the final White Star Line ship. She left service in the 1960s. The 60s, you know, how crazy is that? There's actually color photos of her around. This deck plan has seen better days. Are we gonna dare try and get it out? The paper is very dry. I'm kind of regretting this already. Oh god, oh god, oh god, I should have gloves on. Now, opening deck plans is like opening a puzzle, because, well, they're folded in a particular way, and if you just rush, you're gonna rip it in half. Okay, there we go, in that way. Okay. Oh. This is big. This is really big. Flatten you down. I don't know how well you can see this. You'll have just to bear with. But yeah, this is a deck plan for the motor vessel Britannic, 27,000 tons. You got the boat deck on top there with the lifeboats. I'm reading it backwards through here. You got a drawing room, you got a long gallery, you got a lounge. All of the furniture still detailed and stuff. A deck with all the cabins and accommodations. You even got a photograph and the White Star flag. I love that flag so much. I'm gonna put this down. It's really having a bad time in life. Oh god, I'm having a bad time too. Oh, don't break. This is the thing. You have to treat these carefully. I might not be having the best example of being careful, but I assure you, I treat these with tremendous respect. Come on, over you come. Don't be a... No. Over. There you go. This is why I needed a folio as big as I have, because I need this as unfolded as possible. That's too big to keep unfolded all the way, so I've got it quarter unfolded. It lives in flat conditions. These are non-acidic sleeves, and you have archival card on the inside, so there's no evil acidic pieces in there eating it at a microbe level. I love the White Star Line. I love Titanic. I really do, but my love transcends beyond just Titanic. I don't just pick this one ship as my one focus of attention. There's a lot of awesome history out there to read, to research, and just to obsess over more than anything. I've really enjoyed this different type of video. I like computer games. This is the real thing. You can't beat the real thing, am I right? So I would love to do this again sometime. Just need to know if you guys like this. If you don't like this, it's never happening again. Or at least not on this channel. But anyway, maybe I can refine the process, make it a bit more displayable for you. Anyway, I'm shutting up. So on that bombshell, thank you for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.